Hello, my name is Masternjs, and here we have some Achilles solo lane gameplay. You kind of know the deal by now. I'm going to do that play-by-play commentary here for you. If you saw the previous video, I did an auto attack canceling guide. Achilles is kind of my goat, so you'll see a lot of the things I talked about in that game kind of in practice here. A couple of things for context. The chalk I'm playing against in this game, I had played a couple games, back to back here. He'd been in the lobbies a couple times, and not to BM anybody or anything, but he is not the highest level player. So I'm not gonna feel too much pressure. I kind of get to do whatever I want. You'll see that my arrogance, my ego, kind of peaks up a little bit because I'm just kind of doing my thing, and I'm not making the best plays always. So we'll kind of go through some of that here. But what else? I guess that's pretty much it. My other solo lane gameplay video, I was on the other foot here, where I was playing as Chalk and the enemy was playing as Achilles. And my key factors were I wanted to heal a lot to get out of that execute range. And that's kind of the thing here too. Whenever you're playing it against an Achilles, he just has, 15% more HP than you always. Because once he puts you down to 15% HP, he's going to execute you, right? So having, building into some health, building into some lifesteal or regen is going to be pretty valuable against Achilles, because you're able to increase that buffer between you actually getting into that execute threshold. You might actually be able to, bait him out where he's barely getting you into the threshold. He kind of blows the load a little bit too early, thinks he can execute you, and you end up getting out of that threshold because you have that healing, lifesteal, regeneration, whatever. You're able to, dodge that execute. So that's an important thing. Another thing to consider is what movement abilities you have to get out of the execute. Chalk, I know he has some mobility, but that's kind of a two-stage ability where he has to put the axe down and then teleport to it. So I'm thinking as long as he doesn't have an axe down, my execute is pretty much always going to be free. Or if his 2 is down, my execute's always going to be free. I have a Sunder to help me actually increase that threshold, where if I get him right into that execute, I can put the Sunder down to ensure that his healing isn't going to overcome that threshold again. That's basically it. One other thing on Achilles, your 3 hits twice if you hit the enemy god. So I'm always going to be prioritizing hitting at least the first charge on the enemy god for 1. Secondly, if I can do both of them on him and the creeps, that's the biggest win. But I want to make sure that that first hit is always going on the chalk. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see what happens here. Pretty decent jungle clear there. Pulled it to the left corner, so I have less steps to walk over here. Looks like you always kind of miss the first minion now, unfortunately. I'm gonna get the axe proc there. I want to pull these minions to aggro over here, then I can turn around and hit everybody. He's looking pretty low. I'm poking him with the spear. I'm positioning myself well so I get a lot, and he's forced to use the shell to even live right there. Dodging the axe would have been nice, but I wasn't able to pull that one. Take a look at the builds. You want to see what the enemy is building. Having a warrior's axe definitely changes the way you play a little bit. Here I'm looking very aggro, and I could not believe that one missed. I was freaking out. My mic is muted, so you couldn't hear me, but I was pretty flabbergasted, one could say, by that. A little bit of a bad habit too, where I'm flicking my mouse a bit too much, so that's why it missed, even though to me it looked like it was dead on. Clearing the back camps is good. I just take the minis because I don't want to spend the time doing all that. I have a lot of pressure, and his foolishly stepping up because maybe he thought I was doing the bigs. So I'm just going to pull up. You see me kind of flick my mouse again, not too great. Auto attack cancel, and it's just dead. It's very dead. And two, what's giving me a lot of this pressure is the auto attack cancels. I probably would have killed him without it in that instance, just because he was positioned so poorly. But the way I'm tracking him too is I'm kind of staying perpendicular to him, or cutting off his escape in most cases, where I'm going to be able to maximize my auto attacks while he's running away, versus me like chasing behind him and he's going to get out of range. Here, I know he's going to be throwing the axe. I'm kind of looking, and instead I'm going to kind of pressure him out. There, I didn't pull any auto attack cancels because the range wasn't quite right, and I'm just trying to kind of make this guy's life not so fun right now. Take a bit of a mental edge on him. I noticed too, he's got like the League of Legends builds. He built a bunch of T1 items right there, so I'm not very scared. Even though he got the back, he has no potion, so I'm just going to keep this pressure up. I'm waiting for that axe, but I'm kind of getting impatient where I just want to keep bullying him. And it's a bad spot for him because I have the wave pressure, like I'm clearing it out. I can go to these side camps now. And he's low on HP, and if he doesn't let it walk into the tower like he's doing right now, he's going to be losing even more HP with not much regen going on. And two, his mana is starting to look pretty low as well since I controlled that totem. So again, we're going to kind of see here, see if I can walk up. Kind of don't look at him so he doesn't know I'm really trying to get him bad. I have my ult now, so I could dive that really hard. But also, I just have a lot of farm opportunity here. The blues are coming up. So I'm not going to do anything too crazy. I wanted to keep my poke up there. We're going to look at his blue. But I think, right here, my thought is he's going to be walking down to that blue. So I'm going to hide in this bush, and I'm going to ambush him when he comes around. I'm a bit worried of running into his jungler, so I'm just going to kind of post. See if I can kill him here. If I stunned, I would have been able to do it right away. Loki's here. We're going to play a little differently. Drop the Sunder, execute. Maybe I could have thrown that next execute on the Loki. Got my Warrior's X proc and felt a little better. But instead I opted to run away. Doubling back there probably wasn't correct. But I don't think I was getting out either way. Now I'm calling this out to my jungler that those buffs are up and I want my Nemesis to get those. A little bit of a tough one for her because Loki has ult. I'm calling that out, that she's going to get ulted by him. So we'll see how that turns out. Looks like she steals it with the mid rotated up. You saw the new wall pop up on the side of the mini-map there. A little bit unfortunate. Now I'm going to go beat stick first just because I feel like I'm going to run this guy. He's not even building into much regeneration, and this is whatever little healing he has, I'm going to even strip it away further. And he lost his blue buff there, so I need to defend my blue buff. Make sure they don't trade it. See these nice wandering harpies pulling up. I probably should kill the blue mini first, so then I could have walked the harpies away. And I'll be, you know, 3 or 4 steps closer to whatever I wanted to do here. And two, now that I'm looking at it, that Chalk didn't have ult there. I probably should have, you know, just forgot about the minions. I'm ahead anyways, so what does it matter if I miss an archer or two? And I could have chunked his HP pretty bad. Then again, I can just walk wherever I want. I'm not very scared. Take this guy's minis again. Looks like I'm going to take the bigs this time too because I have more time. There's a bit of stuff going on in my jungle right there, so I'm kind of thinking, man, maybe I should have rotated. But, you know, you don't know until you do it, right? Again, I know his teleport's down. I'm just going to kind of clear the wave a little bit. My abilities were down. Now I feel pretty good. Even though I'm fighting him in his rain, I can still get a good amount of poke off there. I know that I'm not going to be able to stick to him with my auto attacks in the rain. So instead, I'm just going to realize that, not waste extra steps, and actually route to my back camps and get even further ahead on this farm. Solo lane, a lot of the time, back in Smite 1, if you dominated lane this hard, it would feel like you're really like ruling the world. In Smite 2, it just doesn't quite feel the same way, so even if you're getting ahead in the pressure, you need to prioritize getting extra farm. And there's a lot of farm on the map, so you want to kind of, you know, make sure you're not hesitating on how you're routing, because those extra steps make a big difference. And as you can see there, because I routed to my backs, I didn't have the wave pressure there, because he got to the wave before me, and he was able to clear some of that. Again, instead of just auto-attacking that guy, I'm going to pull up and clear the wave. I heard Loki stealth. Here, I kind of want to bait him because I feel very strong. I feel like he's kind of hiding from me. So I'm going to do a little bit of poking. Heard him stealth again. I'm going to show him my back, so hopefully he comes in. And my reaction time was too slow there.
Your right tower is under attack. My deepest apologies.
A little bit too much arrogance there. I thought, like, no matter what I did, what happened, I'm going to just own him. Which is not the case, right? I played that pretty poorly, and I was the one who got owned, so...
Your middle tower is under attack.
And again, I'm even playing... I'm a bit upset because it's like caught all the way back up off of that.
Your left tower.
You can see there, too, I built the cooldown ring for 400 gold. I also could have, if I felt like this was a little bit of a game where I needed to play smarter, I could have built a chalice and 2 wards for that same amount of money, which would be better for the long game for sure. I'm looking at the minimap and I pinged out that my jungler needs to go help duo. Turns out pretty bad for us on the left side of the map. Not the greatest moment for my mental, but he's far too pushed up here, so I'm going to really try and punish him. Again, I can put him down to half HP. This guy really needs a lot more regen. Because if he shows up even with 60% HP, I can probably get him down into execute. I don't know why I used the Sunder there. Honestly, I think I'm just a little bit tilted and I want to hit him. And it ends up working out. Thankfully, Nuwa ult does like 0 damage anymore. She doesn't have a red buff or a Soul Reaver this early, so I live. And I see that the Loki's in mid there, so I know I'm safe to actually clear this wave. Get my minions to push under his tower. Loki could be running up here as we speak, so I'm kind of gambling. I'm hedging the bet a little bit because I think I can do this totem before I leave. I could run to tower right now. Instead, though, I'm still a little bit confident I'm going to come this way. I know my teleport is back up, so I can come back to lane quickly. So I'm just going to knock these out and then back behind my tier 1. I saw Loki on the minimap there. I know this guy's coming for me. I'm going to back right here to kind of bait him. But I actually hear him backing as well, so I know it's over.
I'll attack.
Again, I'm playing quite aggressive. I went for the Phoenix Shield first, so that's going to give me some protections and health, but more importantly, it's going to actually keep me sustained while I'm doing all this crazy stuff. And then I chose to buy a tier 1 item instead of the Chalice again. So, you know, you can kind of see that I'm going a little bit more aggressive in my build path here, where I could have slowed my build down for more, you know, like consumable things that would help me out more immediately. He did purchase a Mystical Mail, which was a smart play for sure. I can tell just by the damage I'm taking being around him. Not that I've pressed tab yet, I don't believe. Mystical Mail is a good item for him in this matchup because he's got 400 HP, so that kind of makes the threshold for me executing him a little bit more difficult. I'm thinking about the teleport here, but I thought better of it. There's not too much going on. It's more in the mid lane, so me teleporting is similar to me just walking down. I hear him on his blue. I'm going to kind of do something sneaky here. Sundered it instantly. A little bit awkward on my 3, but no problem. Keep pressing tab. You need to know what everybody else is building. As a solo laner, it is your job a little bit to counter build whatever's going on. So if they got a lot of healing going on, you need to be buying that anti-heal. I mean, it's the support jobs as well, but the support job is more to build items that support the team. As the solo, you're kind of the counter guy. And I'm just continuously poking this guy out, applying my brawlers. And he's not getting much regen off. Even though his health pool is a little large there.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Can haven't rotated out. I see them both on there. But I know that my mid laner is just going to route back to his buff, so there's not any danger, really. To where I would need to bump down and help out mid. Instead, I'm just going to keep farming up. I've kind of reasserted my lead in the lane. And honestly, I just want some items. Because if I'm going to have to go in here and, you know, fight every single one of them, I want to make sure that my level is high, first off, because Achilles just gets massive stats off his levels. But secondly, that I have good enough items where I'm actually going to have some impact. I'm going to have things that help me survive. I'm going to have protections, a little bit of health. So I'm actually able to sustain in those fights. little bit frustrating for me too. A lot of those large minions haven't I haven't been able to last hit them, so I'm leaving some gold up on the table there. I must say, most of my solo games, I'm not so good at controlling these harpies. In this game, I think I'm doing a pretty good job, like maximizing my farm. Again, I'm definitely going to clear the minions rather than contest them at the totem. It is what it is. I'm not going to lose a full wave for that. I see everything's kind of happening down at Gold Fury there. We saw 3 on the map. One's in mid, Loki's coming this way, so I probably should be bumping down. But it's kind of where's my recourse, right? I could walk down, I could teleport down, but I don't think much is going to happen. There's no Gold Fury up. And now I'm kind of looking for that.
Not be that
Oh,
related,
another one,
bro. Just me, though. You know, maybe 2 them first with your aspect.
His blue is coming up, but I need to reset. A lot of gold in my pocket, a lot of HP that can be healed up. Another pretty aggressive item out of me. Things kind of look like they're going bad everywhere else on the map, so I'm going to pull up and try and help a little bit. Seems like I'm a bit too late. Nothing's going to happen here. Hey, but you know what? I got to split the wave, so I'm not even stressing it too much. Loki's up there, so I know that I can't just run up to his blue, which I would do. I would run up and try and steal that blue, but instead I'm going to take these rocks and get even more power. My strength is kind of rounded out. We're at 122 right now. The 4 int doesn't do me much. You get 20% of your intelligence on your basic attack, so we're getting not even, you know, one extra damage. Able to stun the Loki out of his channeled ability. Kind of trying to hedge him in a specific way. Listen for the footsteps. And I think I heard him going to the right jungle, or to the right of me.
Over here, bro.
But then I didn't hear anything else, so I kind of gave up on that idea. Then somebody pops that eye of the jungle, and we see that he was in the bushes right there backing. I kind of put 2 and 2 together. Wait, if he's in those bushes, my blue just came up. Maybe he's going to be greedy, stick around and steal him. So I'm looking for the opportunity to punish that if he's trying to steal this buff. Looks like he actually just backed. He was pretty scared. My Nemesis is able to run their right jungle a little bit for that. Could have been bigger gains, but not bad. I have a 2-level advantage on him. I'd like to steal this, but it's just not really going to work out. I kind of postured towards hitting him. I know he's going to teleport, so I just run to his axe. If he doesn't teleport, then he actually kind of outplays me, but not a big deal. Not like I lose anything for trying to read him. Free totem. My backs are up, so I could look at that. Admittedly, I'm getting a little bored here. I want to fight. I'm not just going to route to the backs forever. I heard Loki stealth. Call it out. Show him my back. If you show a Loki, your back is definitely going to engage on you. It's a nice little trick.
Loki's running down right now, though.
I don't think Loki's staying over here. I think he's running down to help that team fight. I'm correct.
Loki's behind you on Pyro.
I'm calling that out as much as I can so my teammates are aware of it. I can't really rotate out here because I want to kill this Chalk. I guess I could rotate out, but I'm just going to be a little slow.
I'm walking down. I don't know if it's still going.
Big Gold Fury steal. That's going to kind of turn the tide here. And the kill.
Well, a surprising effort.
So that's a major play for our ADC, who has historically been a little bit down this game. Is able to turn the tide. And actually our team gold is getting pretty equal. We were down about 5k before. Now we're looking to be quite equivalent. Got hit by that axe. Not like it matters because I'm just going to own him. I was hoping he was going to teleport on it. A little bit of a bait. But he's dead again. Could have saved that ult to clear the minions, but whatever. I was worried something might happen to me. I see Loki in mid again. 3 on mid. So I know I'm just clear to do whatever I want. Instead of actually hitting his tower, I'm just going to let the minions die to it. That's a way for me to incur a loss on my enemy. If I knock down that tower and leave the minions alive, all that's going to happen is actually my minions are going to be pushed too far up, and that's to my own detriment. It's actually better for my minions to get killed by the tower, so he loses the gold. And if my minions end up taking the tower, you know, consequently from that, as they did, you can see that they're pushed up on that side of the map, not too far beyond where his tier 1 was. So it's not like those minions have really transferred too far over. Pridwin is a ridiculous item currently. Looks like they're nerfing it in the next patch. I accidentally got off my teleporter a bit too soon. That's okay. And I'm just looking at my mini-map at these times, because I know whatever is in front of me isn't going to change, right? The map's not going to change. I know where the minions are. So I'm going to keep an eye on the mini-map to kind of dictate where I think I'm supposed to be moving. And two, I'm not too scared of Nuwa damage or Ymir damage, to be honest with you. So for magical protections, instead of going a dedicated item, I think I'm going to go more of a hybrid item for my magical protection, so I can actually stack up those physical procs even harder. It's important that I build defense for the rest of my build, basically, since I do have that 1 damage item. And, you know, offense is defense, defense is offense. You need to have a little bit of both to actually, you know, do the best work. Those protections are going to allow me to stay in the pocket and deal more damage. My damage is going to allow me to zone more effectively where people are scared of me. The tank or the carries can't just look at me and fight me straight out. If I pull up on them, they need to retreat. So in a way, that offense kind of gives me a little bit of defense.
I just pulled the objective.
Here I'm kind of creating a zone. You can see my zoning power right there too. He didn't want to stand there and just trade damage with me because I hurt, right? So as soon as I started beating him up, he actually wants to leave. Had Sunder, didn't feel the need to use it. My teammate's Sunder, that's fine. I want to look aggro here because my zone is pretty impressive. Kind of pulling this Ymir back this way because my teammates are going to catch him in a nice pinch. I ulted there just to get a little bit of range. I didn't expect it to necessarily get me where I needed to go. Or to execute her, per se. It's big. I want to fight this guy because he just did his dash. The damage on me is pretty insane, but my return damage, plus my team's retaliation, he was not able to live for very long. Opening mid. Mid's a very good place to open up because it kind of opens up the side jungle for you to roam through. So this is the tower you really do want to knock down. Right, solo towers, you actually kind of want to leave them up, actually. Obviously, it depends on what stage in the game you're at. Gold Fury is coming up. We should back. I do want to just back, but I'm a little bit worried for my mid laner here because I saw Loki back there.
Let's group for Gold Fury.
Now I see him again up front, so I know we're safe. But I was worried that something bad was going to happen there. Instead of investing towards a new item, I'm going to build up my axe instead. Because I'm one of the level 20s in the game. We only have one other one. And they're both on our team. So getting that unique power spike, that starter item, is actually going to kind of own these guys.
On my way.
It's the cheapest item you can build that's very efficient. I've already invested the initial gold on the starter item at the beginning of the game, so the sooner I can finish it, just pay that 1,500 gold to get that massive payout, the sooner the better, right? I'm going to get a massive stat increase for that. I'm getting out my little wards. Wards gave me some good info. I've kind of got 3 on each side right there, one down the middle and the right and the left. So I got to be careful how I zone. ADCs are matching each other, so I'm just going to run their mid down. ADC 1, Loki stealth. Looking to peel there. Now I'm looking back to zone. ADC should have helped on the objective, but I'll kind of team up. We got the Gold Fury, thankfully. I don't know if anybody was on secure duty there, but we made it work. I'm going to cut the Loki off, he's my target here, but by doing that I'm going to zone out the rest of his team so he doesn't have a safe zone to come to. He's going to find that everywhere he goes is dangerous. I end up kind of all-inning this mid. Ulted a bit early there, that wasn't the best play. Ares hits some pretty good ults there. Stun him inside that tornado, massive team damage for us.
I was just back, bro.
CERN is back, and he is very dangerous.
Ult can come up.
New ult can come up at any moment, like I'm saying, which will actually probably one-shot the Cuckoo. So best to just take our win there and reset. Now we're up on gold. I have a suspicion that my not my mid wave, but my right wave is getting pretty fat just off the mini map. Looks like it's only one additional archer, but.
They're on Pyro, I think.
Here I'm going to look for a squishy target to all in, or just create a general zone. I heard the Loki coming around there. A little bit harder to hear in my recording since I turned it down, so you can hear my beautiful voice talk to you. Why did I ult there? I thought I was just going to kind of own that Loki. Didn't really work out, but it's alright.
He just dashed away.
Destroyed on
And full big fire.
Attack fire giant.
Here we can waste a lot of time trying to do something in the jungle,
try and rip
but
it.
there's nothing to gain. It's better for us to pull them into a fight on the fire giant where they actually have to dedicate to us, versus us just kind of willy-nilly looking at them in the jungle. And there's no buffs for us to pressure them out on. So they can just run away for no consequences. So unless they make a mistake, you know, it's never in our favor. Here we're able to take some resources off of them. Able to peel off the ADC versus ADC there, which is good. Good hold by our mage. Loki's around here somewhere still. The door got blown up while it was open, so it's going to glitch out, I'm pretty sure. I think if you blow it up when it's closed, there's no problem, but if you look at this, I can't get through.
It's fucking busted, bro. Here, I'll tank the tower. Come around, bro. Come around.
Quick, trying to help my mid get out of that situation. Instead of listening to me, he just ran around the opposite Phoenix. So now I'm here. I hear Loki stealth again.
Oh, you wouldn't let me walk through, bro.
Yeah,
Showing him my
no,
back
I
again.
couldn't
That
get
time
in.
I didn't really want to show him my back, but
Here, Gold Fury's coming up. Let's kind of swipe their jungle over here. A little low, so this is more free.
pushing the mid Phoenix is risky with the teammates coming back up. It's better for us to just retreat, strip their jungle, and take the objective. Instead, though, my teammates stayed a little bit long. I could have just left them, but I am the solo laner, so I can't kind of play on my own. Ymir almost blocked me quite well with that, but I'm just going to take that. Now I really want to leave. And we turned what would have been a free gold Fury into a 1-for-1 trade. Now this is very troll. I should have just ran. Cern hits that root like quite well. I'm just done. Thankfully, my team actually makes up for my troll by turning it even. Now it's really bad. Now it's even worse. So moral of the story, when you know what's right, just do it. I mean, me trying to help out my teammates there wasn't the worst. We did get that chalk kill. But for what? I mean, that guy's level 19 when I hit my starter how long ago? Like, it's not even that productive for me to get the kill on him. It's better for us to just steal their farm and take the objective, and then we have even more, you know, power in the future. Looks like something's popping off on the Gold Fury. I am debating items here. Nemesis wasn't able to do much, unfortunately.
Shit, it's gonna take him a minute.
The Pyromancer has arrived.
Somebody's calling for the Ares to defend that.
The enemy team has destroyed the fire giant.
Obviously, that was going to be done before he could get there anyways, even without him double backing. I'm feeling myself being CC'd a lot. So Spirit Robe's going to give me a lot of mixed protections.
They have a ward like right where I'm standing. I look for a pick there.
Ari's actually made a pretty terrible play, but they weren't able to capitalize on it, and actually came up being a win for us. I'm just going to burn the ult there instead of holding it and maybe throwing. The damage isn't negligible, right? It's actually pretty high damaging ability, so I'm just going to pop it out. And I swiped the Obsidian Dagger off their ADC.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I just pushed down mid.
I'm going to waste this guy's time. Gold Fury really doesn't serve a purpose for us because we can just take the objective anyways. So there's no sense in us taking an objective to take the objective that we would take anyways, right? So good thing our teammates pushed up the creeps. That's very important. You need minions to siege. They remove backdoor protections and they tank, obviously. Here I'm just going to create that zone. My damage is good. I can come back and hit. But I'm looking more to kind of peel in these situations. I actually missed my one there. That's embarrassing. But we're looking full peel. I had a feeling he was going to teleport to that. Kind of wanted the kill, but not able to quite get it. That's alright though. What was mine came back to me. Missed a couple autos there. It's alright. The Cern is going to kind of wreck me, so Obsidian Dagger. He timed his ult quite well. This guy's actually cooking. Five HP and a dream. Oh, dream collapsed. Well, if I had that, bro. if I had that item, I would have lived.
Your middle tower is under attack. The enemy team has destroyed the Gold Fury.
This Nemesis needs to watch the AA cancel video. Would have helped her out a little bit right there. I was worried about him double backing there. Doubling back, I should say. I really want this Loki. Kind of got him on my radar because I heard his footsteps there. But instead I'm going to have to 1v1 this guy. I don't really want to 1v1 him, so I'm glad that he ran away. My Pridwin would have helped. I might have been able to win it. But, you know, the implication of me winning it is great, I guess. But if I lose it, it's pretty bad. Because I feel like I'm a bit of a pillar for our team right here. I was back in. This guy's causing some mayhem. I mean, perhaps I should have taken the 1v1 with him. That sounds going to be rough, but thankfully we got the communal beads, and I'm able to eke out the kill on him. And juke! Oh! Broke their ankles. I'm so bad, but you know, we tried. Ares actually trolled himself by ulting there. He had a better chance of surviving if he just ran.
What the fuck is... Oh, bro.
I'm a little bit upset that Nemesis is on the wrong side of the map. She definitely could have pulled in and assassinated a Nuwa or something.
On my way.
Ultimate is ready. Your middle tower is under attack.
We're a little split, group up.
Actually, quite a good ult by my mage. It would have hit a lot more if Nuwa didn't go up in the air.
We got one in the back line.
Kind of running in there, trying to create a zone, create some space for my team to work. My execute was too slow, didn't even matter. Should have held it. Things are starting to collapse a bit. See what I can do to kind of find my way out. Damn. No recourse for me, unfortunately. Sucks when a game kind of gets to this point where you're just late game team fighting and trading lives over and over, waiting to respawn, come back out. Your teammates have already started kind of a bad fight. You get in the middle of it, you die again. You've been there before. Just not the most intelligent gameplay. Our mid laner is actually doing quite a good job defending that. He's really made them lose momentum on the siege. Especially too when I'm spectating, unfortunately, and I'm not really paying too much attention. You can hear the memes going on. It's like, 4 days? I didn't know that'd be a problem for you. You know, I'm out here watching some reels.
Greetings. Defend the fire giant.
I'm on it.
Wondering right here, trying to join up for this fire giant siege. Big mistake by me was not purchasing 3 wards. That's very troll. Almost unexcusable, actually, but you know, we're not tryharding the hardest here. Tryharding a little bit for sure. Tryharding on the micro, not the macro. Which is the more important part of the game, actually, is the macro, so... Foolish way to go about it, but... Here, I gotta be careful, because if I overextend...
Oh my god.
We're dead. Thankfully, though, it turned out to be a pretty big opportunity for my teammates. Poor Ares, he had a kind of a good read on the Loki there, actually, you know.
Loki might be behind you. Yeah, he just helped.
Good, he missed the auto attack. He's
reset,
gotta
no problem.
turn that sensitivity up or something.
Yes.
Right, Phoenix got low due to minions. Love to see that. Again, it looks like we're just going to kind of keep fighting over the fire giant until one of us loses. Loses decisively enough to make an impact in the game. Again, we're always just trying to create some space as the solo laner. I'm kind of the spear that breaks through their form, and I stay there. Medusa's making a very smart play by retreating and telling the team that she retreated.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Just walk back.
I kind of wanted to walk around the right there, but I know my support's not in our back line, so I'm kind of responsible for the peel in that moment.
Attack fire giant.
You have to be aware too, right? It's my job to be the head of the
Loki
spear,
always
but if
does.
somebody else becomes the head of the spear, there's no spear with 2 heads, right? So somebody's got to pull back and do a little something. here, creating my space, trying to reduce the chance of them stealing. Throw a Sunder down on it. Tried to pick up the dagger because I was worried that it would fall into enemy hands. Of course, Medusa's on it. She knows what's going on. It's helpful when you have at least one teammate who understands how the game works. It definitely helps your chances of winning. You don't have to take care of all the small things yourself.
We should stay grouped up.
Loki's in the back. See what we can do. Insane dagger, the obsidian dagger.
Your right Phoenix is under attack.
Recovering his option. We might as well take this. Whenever there's a tier 2 tower up, you know that Titan's going to be a little bit more tanky than you expect. So take the Phoenix. That'll reduce those protections to a point where it's going to be manageable to burst it down.
Another city conquered.
And there we go. We made it happen.
No worries.
You know, solo lane, we went crazy in the early game. You know, we had our impact, just didn't feel like I was running it as much as I felt like I should have. Zero SR for the win. You can hear me complain about it. But I think I actually did gain SR. I think that was just a visual bug. But I think that's pretty much it for this. Take a look at these stats a little bit. You know, let's pause here. I think I go check my SR after this. Damage numbers are pretty good, right? Now the stats they're not that important, but they're nice to look at because you need to see how much actual numbers you're pumping out, right? No matter how good your nuanced play is, the intangible parts of the play that don't get shown on this screen, doesn't matter how good those are. If your numbers are in the dirt, well, everybody's perception of you is going to be that you're trash, right? And who cares what other people think? But that's a fact, right? You can't avoid the part that people are going to think you're pretty bad if your numbers are bad. But, you know, you can be the best nuanced and tangible player where you're always positioning perfectly. You got the macro play on deck. You're calling out objectives. But if you're not actually pumping out any damage, you're not actually farming very well in the gold, you didn't actually mitigate anything, you didn't heal anybody, you didn't place any wards, right? That's going to severely hinder your game. So not that these stats are the biggest representation of how you played, but it is important that you kind of check these out and check out the other opponents too. I could tell that Medusa was definitely kind of the MVP here. She knew what she was doing, and she got put in a role that she can carry the game from, right? If you're playing solo, you're probably not carrying the game, unfortunately. Unless you're going full damage and you're just, you know, owning everybody. It's not usually the case, right? It's more beneficial for you to have faith in your teammates, which... at the lower level, maybe not, right? At the lower level, just play jungle all the time. Not to say that this game is at the higher level by any means. I kind of felt like it was ADCs were the only ones who really knew what they were doing. Mids were pretty decent. But, you know, there's just a lot of non-factors in here, too. So it's just something to keep into consideration there. I hope this was an insightful video for you. I hope too that if you watch that auto attack canceling video and you come back and watch this one after, that there's a lot of, you know, overlap between those two, that those things that I was showing in that video, you can actually see me having in my gameplay. But that's it. I appreciate you guys watching, and peace.